one of the challenges is you're essentially an eyewitness account. Like, we don't have good data. We have very limited data of the incident that you've experienced. So let me kind of dig in. Let me just ask some questions of maybe to see if there's just to paint more and more of the picture. One, you kind of mentioned, so Tic Tac shape. Let's break apart two situations. One is the video. Let's look at the actual eye account, the eyewitness account that you saw with your own eyes.
Mm-hmm.
What can you say about the shape of the thing? Is there interesting aspects outside of the Tic Tac? Like, is there any appendages? Is there some texture to it?
No, smooth white Tic Tac. We don't see. There's no wings, no visible propulsion, no windows, no probes that we could see. We don't notice, like I said, we don't see the little things on the bottom of it until we see the video in the TV mode when it's zoomed in. Right before it's shortly, you kind of see them zoom in. You don't see it typically on the YouTube stuff that's out there. But remember, we're looking at the original tape, so there's basically no degradation.
But when you saw with your eyes, there's no kind of appendages.
No, none.
What about, like, somebody asked, a lot of people asked you questions, so I appreciate you spending your time here. Let me ask some of them. You chased it, so you flew close to it, relatively speaking. Did you feel any wake? Did you feel it in any way in terms of your interaction, like aerodynamically?
No.
Nothing.
So
another aspect of it, there's an interesting thing. You've developed a feel for objects in the air. Did you feel like it was surprised by your arrival, or did it? Let me ask a few questions around it. So, did it feel like the thing was surprised? Did it feel like it wanted to be seen, almost to show off its capability? What did it feel like relative to if you were doing an air fight against sort of like a foreign jet?
So I think it knew we were there when we showed up. It's me. It's kind of like an animal. If you've ever been around deer in a field, the deer will look up, and if it sees you and you're on the other side of the field, it'll actually go, no threat, and it'll start eating. They don't put their tail up. As you move closer to the deer, then it goes, oh, it's there, and I'm going to react, or I'm going to move. So as we were up high and it's down doing whatever it was doing, which I don't know, someone asked, what do you think? I go, oh, maybe it was communicating with something. I joked on Good Morning America. Maybe it's like talking to the whales, kind of like Star Trek, and I actually used that clip. It was kind of funny, but
yeah, we're a little human centric. We think like it'd show up to talk to us, but maybe it's talking to the dolphins.
Maybe it was whatever, because it was hanging around that whitewater, and I don't know if was there something there, was there seamount? We just didn't find it again. I don't know. But once we started to descend and it actually reoriented its longitudinal axis and it started mirroring us coming up, then it was obviously where we were there, and it was really coming up. Just, you figure I'm at 20 and it's coming up, and it ends up getting up to 12, where I cut across the circle. I think it was very aware that we were there because it interacted. We call it a 2-circle fight when you're fighting another airplane. Were we afraid? I don't think so. I mean, and to me, I was more curious. The curiosity overcomes any fear that you would have. And I always felt, to be honest, if I was inside the airplane, especially as much time as I'd spent inside the airplane flying and doing stuff, I felt it was like a safe zone. I mean, yeah. I felt totally comfortable inside the airplane as most, you can't, if you're in the airplane and you feel scared, it's not the job for you. Right. You have to feel that because the airplane is part of you now.
Yes.
I am inside. I have the stick. I have the throttles. I've got my Wizzo in the back seat. He's running all the displays. We are a team. We're in the state-of-the-art airplane, brand new. You feel pretty good. And then you get something that, can climb from the surface up and then accelerate like it did, like it was like no big deal. For an airplane, if you just put me from a standstill, let's just say slow flight, just get me at 100 knots above the water. And for me you can't just start a climb. I'd have to lower the nose. I'd have to accelerate, and then I'd have to start coming up. And this thing just did it like it was like no big deal.